Yep.
All right, welcome everybody. This is Stephen Jennings with Red Riot Games, and we're going to be doing another deck profile with Lorraine. But this time, instead of having such a windy gameplay, we're going to have a more fiery one. So we got our dear friend here, coming all the way from Quebec. We got Jonsu. I'm not sure if I butchered that name just now, but we're going to let him introduce himself and Lorraine and let us know a little bit of the mind behind potentially the best Grand Archive player right now, playing one of the strongest heroes right now. So go ahead and take it away.
Yes, thank you for having me. Yeah, so my Lorraine deck is more of a a mid-range Lorraine deck compared to what you will think a Fire Lorraine deck will do. Uh, the main game plan with my deck is to go as fast as I can to level 3, then go off, do big damage, kill my opponent as fast as I can from there. So for my material deck, I have the normal uh, the normal suite, the Lorraine, Lorraine one. Sorry, I have a little problem here with my card. Okay, it's okay now. The Lorraine suite as normal. Then Lorraine needs her sword. Uh, so for the level 1, I do pack up the 2 zero cost sword, the Sword of Seeking, which you will materialize as level 1 sword um, pretty much 95% of the time because of the 2 durability that it gives you a lot of leeway to be able to do 2 attack with it, and it will helps you down the road when you do your little combo to do maximum damage further in the game. I'll get back to it later. And the ornamental greatsword, which is a good sword because it costs 0, so that's good also. I do have the warrior longsword, which is pretty basic. Warrior longsword gives you more damage, costs 1 memory, but some when you have the floating memory for it, or when you have the cards for it, can get you past some threshold and pull out more damage. I do have the prismatic edge because my goal is to go level 3, and prismatic edge is just a powerhouse. It with its on enter effect. Since I'm fire, I can pretty much always get the fire on enter effect, which is 3 damage, which is a lot. Also the sword has 3 power, which is a lot also, and yeah, it's just a
Just
powerhouse.
um, just
Finish
to
the game.
just to bring it back a little bit, could you walk us through what Lorraine does, and then kind of go through? Like I understand that there's some of these prismatic edge and seeking sword, etc. These are really strong cards, but if we can bring it back a little bit to Lorraine herself and kind of get a a brief introduction into what exactly you're wanting to do with Lorraine.
Yeah, with Lorraine, the main game plan for Lorraine is to she wants to be level 1 as soon as possible because a lot of card will have class bonus, and often our class bonus it's either being able to intercept or having more damage. So what you want to do is in this deck basically is to chip out damage uh, using your card that doesn't expand themselves, like floating memory card, which will keep you uh, a lot of card in hand to be able to continue playing. You really don't want to run out of card. If you run out of card, you won't be able to kill. And if you're not able to deal damage with Lorraine, then it's pretty much done. So so yeah, for the level 1. Then the level 2 is pretty tricky. It's the tricky part of playing Lorraine. It's the level 2 and the level 3. I might add, but more of the level 2 because her on enter effect is getting +2 damage, and on kill draw a card. You want to uh, tap into that the most you can. So you don't want to be leveling to level 2 just to be level 2. You want to either have a plan for killing ally and drawing card, or a plan to deal enough damage to your opponent so you put him you put enough pressure to be able to finish your opponent the turn after, who maybe or at least near that. Then the level 3 with our passive to be able to with her passive to get that gives her plus damage for each sword in her banish zone. You want to be level 3 for that, but not just for that. If in this deck your best card are your cracks card, because they dish out a lot of damage. They look like nothing, but they dish out a lot of damage for almost no card. The card that costs the most of the crux card that I run is 2 reserve cost, and there's the situation where it doesn't cost anything. So you want to get level 3 for activating those cards. So Lorraine wants her sword. That's why I got in this deck I got 5 sword. There's a reason for the fifth sword that I will get into later, but the most important sword is the Sword of Seeking, because you will materialize the Sword of Seeking every game for free with the level 1, and it has 2 durability, which is a pretty big deal if you want to combo. I'll get to that later, but keep in mind that this sword is really awesome, best sword in the game. The other sword, this one is to have a second sword that costs 0. If I don't have floating memory, I need a sword. I have it. Also, it can push with it its on enter that give +1 to an ally. It can push the ally to a threshold to kill an opponent ally or something like that. Very good. The Wire Long Sword, when you can pay for it, it's a really good sword. If the game goes long, you pay for it. It has 2 durability and swing for 2, but it costs 1, so you cannot materialize it for free with your level 1, and you have to pay either one floating memory or a memory for it to be on play. But often it's worth the cost. Then Prismatic Edge will be your sword that you will once level 3 that you will want to materialize in order to finish the game. So being fire, you can like I said earlier, you can almost assure to have the 3 damage on enter, because you will reveal a fire card from your memory, and it's swing for 3, so it's a lot of damage. So sometimes it's enough to finish the game. And finally, like I said, I have a 5th sword, and it's the Seer sword. It could be Clarent, the only sword that I don't have in the deck right now. The reason why I have this sword is because if the game goes long, I want to still have sword, always have sword to be able to kill my opponent unit. And there's a crux card that expand sword from the material deck. So this card, it pretty much always just go from the material deck into the banish using its Spirit Blade Ghost Strike that I'll come to later. Then I have the three spot left. I will have the bolt bubble to to be able to ensure that I can draw a card if I need a card to make a play. Let's say I need a card for a specific play. I have already sword in play. Then the bubble are there for that reason. And I have both because it's only the two elements that are in the game right now, and I want to have the good element to be able to play to draw the card. And finally, the safeguard amulet. I opted for the safeguard amulet because with this deck, the 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 matchup that I fear the most is Fire Eye, because if Fire Eye gets gets his combo um, early enough, he can threaten even if I'm level 3, can threaten me with a lethal. So having the safeguard and met can prevent a kill. So uh, that's why I opted for that. But it's the 12th card. Maybe you could replace this card for something else, but that's what I went with. So that was this for the material deck. I'll put it aside. Then I guess we go to the. We can go with the ally. Um, First ally that I play here as a 4 of is Library Witch. Library Witch is a 4 of, but because it's a card that doesn't cost a card, if she dies, I draw a card, so it's it doesn't expand the card. But Library Witch, um, you have to care. You don't want to be playing a Library Witch if you're playing against Rai, for example, because Rai won't care about the Library Witch, so the Library Witch will stay on play. And as long as she's still on play, you're minus a card. You're down a card, and that's really not good. So you don't want to play Library Witch blindly. You just wait. If you play against Lorraine, then Library Witch will save you 1 damage and draw your card. So that's pretty much our job here. Then I have the Flame Room Swanman as a 4 of as also. Flame Room Swanman is just a good ally. Only costs 3 for a 2/2 that has floating memory. The only downside is that the floating memory is class bonus, so you cannot use it. If you use it first turn and you're not yet a warrior, then you cannot use it to level 1. So that's the only downside of this card. It, if not for that, it's a really good minion. Then I have a Veteran Soldier as a 3 of. Veteran Soldier is floating memory, not not on class bonus, so you can play a Veteran Soldier as turn 0, and if she dies, then you can use her to level. It's almost the best turn 0 play right now, because it's 2/3 is a pretty big body, hard to kill, and you don't care if she dies, so that's really good. Even if she costs 5, which might look a lot, you'll get back those 5 cards, so you don't care if that she costs 5. She's there for a turn 0, turn 1 play. That's it. And since she has floating memory, she can help you keeping your hand the biggest as possible. Then I have Dungeon Guide, which I have as a 3 of. The reason why is I only use Dungeon Guide to level from level 2 to level 3. I never used Dungeon Guide before that, because if you do, it's it end up costing you more card to level than you're supposed to, which is not good. And even for level 3, the big reason why she's good is that when you do level with her, you if you have attacked with your champion, you wake up your champion on level, which permit you to be able to attack twice in the same turn, which is the bread and butter of this deck. So let's just uh, get back Lorraine level 2 and Lorraine level 3. So earlier sorry, I'll just set this up. So with Dungeon Guide, the basic of this deck is to be level 1, then leveling to level 2, gaining gaining the gaining the bonus for until the end of turn. Then you swing one. Maybe you kill an ally, you draw a card, something like that. Then you play Dungeon Guide, go into level 3, and swing one more. The reason why I said that Sword of Seeking is really good is because it didn't cost you any materialization. You did materialize it with level 1 usually. And if you didn't swing with it, it still has 2 durability, so you can swing one with it on level 2, then swing with again on level 3. So it permits you to do good combo that end up dishing a lot of damage. So I'll just throw these back there. Afterward, there that's the main game plan allies here. The rest are more like tech ally. I have 3 Esteem Knight, which is pretty basic. 2/3 intercept for 3, and I have 3 Crusader of Aza, which is 1 more health, but with the downside of entering the play rested. These two are a tech against both Lorraine and Rai, and they they are also good against Sylvie, uh, but they are good against Lorraine and against Rai, not for the same reason. The reason why it's good against Lorraine is the fact that they have intercept. So it's big body that required to be killed because Lorraine cannot just ignore them. And against Rai, it's big body that will dish out 2 damage each turn if they don't deal with it. So, like I said earlier, against Rai, you want to make him spend cards, so he uh, cannot go combo, uh, and that's the kind of card that will force Rai to expend card. And finally, I have Gildas as a 3 of. Gildas is more of a low floor, high ceiling card. If I have the situation where I have 7 card in hand, I can play Gildas and she's automatically activated to have her +3 damage. I will do so. If not, I will often not play her. It's if when you can do that, she attacks for 4, which is really good. She's a body that you have to deal with, and dealing damage is the base of this deck. You want to bring your opponent life total down a little so that when you go and do your combo, you finish them off. So that's it for the ally. Now the attacks. For the attacks, I have Savage Slash as a 4 of. Savage Slash is one of the I think it's automatic 4 of in Lorraine Fire. This deck because it plays out perfectly in the game plan. It's a good attack that have floating memories, so you can play it for free basically. It will bring down your opponent life total, or you will be able to deal with whatever they put on board with it. As a remark, Savage Slash can be played without the sword, so and it still do 2 damage. So I will always try to do that. I will only use the Sword of Seeking when I have to use it, because you never know when you will need the second durability for your combo. After that, there's Flame Sweep, which is I play this as a 4 of because it might be a little a lot to have 4. Maybe 3 will be good, but I really like to have it when the situation is ripe for a good level. Go into level 2 and to sweep the board. If you can sweep the board, kill 1 or 2 allied, and hit your opponent for 4 or 5, it gives you a really good advantage. So I want to be able to do that. And also, since the deck goes level 3 fast, um, with Lorraine passive, this will always swing for 3 or more, maybe 4, 5, 6, and it pass through intercept because it's a cleave, cannot be intercepted. It will kill their ally and deal damage. So it works for your game plan. Now I have the Spirit Blade Ghost Strike, which I was talking about earlier. The whole reason why I have my 5th sword in the deck is because of Ghost Strike. It's a 3 of in my deck, and it's one of the combo that I aim to play when I go into level 3. So if I level to level 2, play Dungeon Guide, then go into Ghost Strike, I still have the +2 damage from the level 2. And when you play Ghost Strike, you can banish. It says you may banish a card from your material deck. If you do, your champion gets +1 attack for the turn. So just this action gives you +1. And if you put a sword from your material deck into a banish, it will give you another +1 because of the Lorraine passive level 3 passive. And this plus the one from the banished sword will be for the rest of the game. So if I rush into level 3, let's say I go level 3 turn 3, then turn 4, turn 5, I have +1 damage just because I played a Ghost Strike on turn 3, which is really good. Then I have my Devastating Blow, which is for 3 for 3, and as the class bonus level 3 plus. So you have to be level 3 for this to happen, but it has +4 damage and cannot be retaliate. So it's 7 damage when you're level 3, which is a big swing. Counting the fact that you probably have her passive up also. So it's still a lot of damage. The reason why I go Devastating Blow, it's a 2 of in the deck. It's because you don't want to be playing that before you're level 3. And often you will only play that to finish the game. So you don't want more than 2 copy. And my last attack is Rending Flame. Rending Flame says that on attack, you may banish 3 fire cards from your graveyard. If you do, Rending Flame does double. This double damage also applied to the bonus damage from the sword and the bonus damage from anything that would give you bonus damage. So if you level to level 2 this turn, you have the +2 that will get double. If you're level 3, then your passive gets double, etc. So it's you count the total, then double. So that's a really good card. I have this as a 3 of, but it's really a second game plan. It's not my main game plan to play Rending Flames. The reason is my deck is more looking to level 3 and play the Crux attack there is because I don't have that many fire card in the deck. I only have, if I count quick, 13, 16. I have 26 fire card, which will and I want to keep them the most as possible. So it often I have this in hand, but I don't have the 3 card needed to double it. So that's really a secondary game plan. So that's it for the attack. I'll put them right here. Uh, then the action card to finish this. I have the Tempered Steel as a 3 of. Tempered Steel ability is not that good. Putting a durability counter is not always relevant, but since it has floating memory, then it's a free spell. Uh, it's a free spell uh, that will give you a little advantage, which is good. The reason why it's really good is I should have thought about this card earlier, but Creative Shock as a 4 of in the deck, even if I'm not a mage. Um, the reason is uh, its ability is just the floor of this card is card selection, because you use this card, draw 2 and discard 1. Uh, you end up with the same amount of card in hand. It's card advantage because you draw and then you discard. And if you end up discarding a floating memory, then it's card advantage because you can use the floating memory to level after that. So even if you're not a mage, you cannot go on the with the class bonus. This card is pretty much a 4 of in any fire deck right now, just because it gives you too much card advantage. Then let's up on the two crux card. The first one is Spirit Blade Infusion. This card costs 2. It's a fast action that costs 2, and will cost 2 less if your champion has dealt damage this turn. So when you do your little trick that you will try to do each game to go level 2, swing, then dungeon guide you to level 3 and swing again, then this card is free during that turn because your champion has dealt damage beforehand. Also, its ability it gives a sword plus 3 damage, and on champion it draw a card. So when you play this, you want to be hitting the champion, your parent champion, and also you need a sword. It's not an attack. That's where Sword of Seeking once again shine because of the 2 durability. If you have this at 2 durability, you can swing with it level 2. Then when you level 3 with the dungeon guide, you still have 1 durability to play a Spirit Blade of Fusion on it for free. Swing your opponent for like 6 damage because you still have the +2 from the level 2, and draw a card. So that's really good. And it can also be played alongside Ghost Strike, because since it's not an attack, it can be played alongside Ghost Strike. It can be also played alongside Rending Flame, which would make the Rending Flame really big. So that's a really good card. And last but not least, for the Crux card is the Spirit Blade Ascension, which I have as a 3 of. This card is really insane when you get to level 3. If you still have a sword in play, you still need a sword in play. Once again, Sword of Seeking, really good. You can pay 1 to put back a sword from play into the material deck and materialize a sword, the sword that you want. So you can pay. We can pay for this card with a fire card. If you do, and put back a card and get out the Prismatic Edge, you ensure that there's a fire card in the memories to be able to deal the 3 damage. and also you don't have to pay the ridiculous cost of two memory for it. It'll be almost free because you use a sword that you did materialize for free uh, when you got to level 1. uh, so that card is really good. Then I have the little tech card. I have the tech card, deflecting edge as a 3 of. Deflecting edge as a 3 of, just because Lorraine. It's really good against Lorraine, denying Lorraine card when she's level 2 and trying to kill your minion, preventing 6 damage on a rending flame that has been doubled. Uh, deflecting edges. It gives you a good advantage uh, for against Lorraine. Then Blazing Through as a 2 of, it's a tech card where sometimes I go for the side plan, the secondary plan of killing faster than try and instead of going level 3. And Blazing Through sometimes just gives the 4 damage. You can what you do is you sacrifice a sword that you have to deal 4 damage. It's an action, so it can be played in the same turn as you attack with the said weapon if it still have a durability after the attack, and it gives 4 more damage, so it's really good uh, in that situation. And last but not least, my tech card against Rai, Sparkalite, as a 4 of. Uh, like I said earlier, um, the matchup that I fear the most with this deck is Fire Rai, because this deck is not as fast as other more aggressive Fire Lorraine that would try to kill with Rending Flames and the like. Uh, since that, if Rai is level 3, he has the Arcane Barrier card that can prevent any attack. So if I do a big attack and that big attack run to an Arcane Barrier, then the match is pretty much lost for me, because Rai then will have a turn with a lot of card advantage to be able to go off and combo me. But if I have a Sparkalite up, what you do is when the Arcane Barrier is played, you you let it resolve. Then before your attack resolve, you play the Sparkalite. It will burn off the Arcane Barrier. Still do it still 2 damage since it's unpreventable damage, and then the attack will go through. So that's how I will almost all my game against Rai end up finishing, because uh, I often end up killing Rai while he's level 3. So that's uh, that's often an MVP in these situation. So that's pretty much it.
All right, so a few questions.
Yeah.
So we talked a lot about the Rye matchup and your concern for it, but I don't think we really got a good understanding of why you would be maybe worried about um, the Sylvie matchup. Is Sylvie as a character just not something that you're worried about facing at this point in the game?
Um, Sylvie, right now, as of right now, with the card pool that we have access to in the TTS tournament, doesn't have much going for her, and her game plan, while technically possible, does not get enough threat. This deck should be able to kill faster than Sylvie. And if that's not the case, then you still have your 10 intercept to be able to gain time to be able to kill. Uh, so the Sylvie doesn't put up a threat because I think she doesn't have enough going for be able to survive the combos when it might doesn't look like it might not looking like much, but the combo that you do with dungeon guide and like let's say you have spirit bit infusion and a ghost strike, it's at least 13 damage because you will do 3 damage with the sword, then 1 with the dungeon guide. And the spirit diffusion is +3. The ghost strike is +3, and another swing for 3. So uh, you will this deck aims to kill on turn 4, and if it doesn't go well or if your opponent has a lot of intercept, it might go longer. But your game plan is to go into level 3 turn 3 around turn 3 and kill the turn after. I don't think Sylvie has the means to survive this right now.
So something like Creative Shock would because you're playing 4 of it because you're wanting the hand manipulation. Is that correct?
Yeah, Creative Shock. It's at worst it's a free card that gives you card selection because you draw 2, and then you can discard your worst card from your hand. Um, and at best, you can discard a floating memory, and it will give you card advantage. One of the goals of this deck is to keep a big end to be able to go level 3 because it costs a lot going level 3. It will cost 6 card. If you don't have floating memory, then you will end up with no hand. Often when I do the combo with the dungeon guide fast on turn 3, I will end up I usually have 6 or 7 card going into that turn. Let's say I have 7 card. I will use I will put 3 card down, play dungeon guide, banish 2, so I have only 1 left in memory, and I have 3 other card in hand. Or if I had 6, then I have only 2 other card in hand. And if I play this card to push up damage, then I will end up on the turn after with only 2 or 3 card max. So, but at that time, your opponent is either dead or near death. So that's where that's why having one more card in hand can make world of difference.
Well,
Uh,
I think that that pretty much summed up most of my questions. I mean, a lot of them were more like are going to be kind of in line with is there a reason why you don't have blacksmith? But I think you were saying you're wanting the game to end within 4 turns at most, and
yeah.
you're using cards to draw you cards. If there ever is any other fire cards, they probably just take the place of cards that don't draw you cards, and just to kind of get you over on your you're wanting to see dungeon guide and wanting to level up, like jumping. I guess you wait until you can have a turn where you can throw out your level 2, jump to your throw out your level 2, attack for the turn, and then dungeon guide so you can get to your level 3 and keep the same bonus where you're drawing a card off of every time you kill something, and sorry on if you can, and with your level 3, I guess just finish him off that turn. So like if I'm correct, then you're wanting to play, uh, you're wanting to wait until you have a turn where you're going level 2 to level 3 within the same turn and trying to really rush out as much damage as you can, or am I understanding that wrong?
Yes, it's the ideal game plan, uh, but sometimes you just don't draw into dungeon guide. I only have 3, and even if you have 4, sometimes you just don't see them. So you cannot wait too much because all of your a good part of your deck is based on having this level because of card like Ghost Strike, which will give you Ghost Strike will give you +1 damage for the rest of the game if you banish the sword with it. So you want to be playing this as fast as you can to be able um, to gain that bonus fast as possible. And Spirit Blade Infusion is a +3 damage that will replace itself if you swing the opponent. So you want to be able to play this card as fast as you can. But yeah, I think waiting at 1 turn for in the hope of getting a dungeon guide, that's where I will usually materialize a bauble, draw 2 card in this turn, uh, in the hope of drawing one. Uh, that's a very valid game plan also. But if I feel the rush needing to kill my opponent fast, if I won't wait on that turn indefinitely, because my deck is based on having the level 3 activated.
All right.
Even if
Well,
I only have eight Crux card, this card I protect them. I realize I didn't talk about that, but um, there's a lot of tech card in the deck. These are the card that you will want to use when you level up if you don't have the floating memory. The Crux card are the card that you want to protect, unless you have like 5 of those in hand. Then you can expand some to level, but these are really good card that cost that doesn't cost a lot, that gives you card advantage, that gives a lot of damage. So you want to protect this card, maybe also protecting Rending Flame and Dungeon Guide. Dungeon Guide is also one that you want to protect. If you play against me and you see me leveling, banishing a Dungeon Guide, you shouldn't be happy. You should think that, yeah, he has another in hand. That's for sure. Dungeon Guide is just too strong in this deck.
Dungeon Guide MVP of the year. Well, I want to say thank you so much for coming out and showing us your amazing deck. This is one that's certainly earned you a lot of beans and biscuits. I see you in a lot of first places there. So I want to say thank you for sharing this tech here. I know there might be a few secrets you're keeping in the back burner, but that's okay because hopefully we'll see it in a tournament not too far off in the distance. So if you could throw one request to the Grand Archive gods to bestow on us something spicy for this game, what would it be? I'm gonna leave you the last comment there.
Oh, dang. You surprised me with that one. Uh, if I had one spicy thing. Yeah, I'm speechless. I don't see. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about.
Well, well, how about we
Sorry.
get a really amazing hand manipulation discarding type of wizard for water. And for Lorraine, we get, or for that class, anyways, we get some really cool watery cards that make it so that she is a monster with all the elements.
She is a monster with already with 2, that's for sure. Uh, if yeah, I I don't have anything.
That's okay. He's a speechless, shy guy. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, that I am.
We will.
That I am.
You know what? He makes a lot of noise on the field. So we'll take it from there. Thank you so much. Have yourself a good day. And everyone, check out this deck. There's a lot of knowledge that was dropped in this video today. So hopefully some of that is absorbed, and maybe you guys will make your own variations of this deck. All right. Thank you so much, and you take care of yourself.
Yeah, thank you for having me.